Good morning and happy Monday. I am saying good morning, but it's almost 12:30. I got up way too early after a really rubbish night's sleep, so after one coffee decided, no, we're going back to bed. So the day didn't go off to a great start, but I feel much better now, and it's the summer holidays, so I'm allowed to sleep in. Some exciting stuff, or something exciting that I really want to show you, was a project that I started yesterday morning. So I've been sharing a lot on here with you guys about my knitted shawls and things that I've been working on, which I will show you at some point this week, obviously. But, you want to go pee? But I never thought about designing a crochet shawl. I don't know why, I never had. And I'd crocheted a shawl once before when I first learned to crochet, and that was back when I was about 14 or 15. So it's been a while. And it was with dead chunky yarn and all that stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, that style. But I wanted something with like the 4-ply yarn that I had been using. Hide the cupboard of them. I wanted something with the 4-ply yarn, like I had been using for the knitted shawls. And I got this idea at like 1 in the morning after staying up reading too long. And I was like, I need to get up and start picking out colours and all this stuff. I managed to not do that, but I was close. However, it did mean getting up first thing on Sunday morning and starting my very first crochet shawl pattern. Look at it! I wanted to go for something with a lot of texture because that's my favourite when it comes to like Stephen West's ones. He's always got loads of really interesting knit stitches in there. So I kind of wanted to adopt that idea, but with crochet stitches instead. So I've got some like back post double crochet in there. I've got some puff stitches. I've got a little section of V stitches in there, working in the back loop. And yeah, it's just been really, really nice. I'm enjoying. So at first my tension was a little bit tight, so that's why it's kind of bunched up a little bit there, but that'll be fine once I block it. But I flattened it all out on the floor before, just to make sure that everything is lying nice and flat, and it does. So once it blocks, I'm sure it'll be fine. But I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm getting that width rather than too much depth on the shawl. I want it to be like a big schlanket, but I'm enjoying the fact that I'm getting that depth that I'm looking for, the width, sorry, that I'm looking for. So yeah, the colours aren't showing great here, but I'll try and show you what I'm using. So I have this, I'm just using what I've got in stash. So I've got this Filcolana, is it? Light grey. I've got a cream. I've got this dark green. I've got leftovers of this dark purple, and then I'm currently using the light purple, which looks quite close to the grey, and it is a little bit, but you can tell the difference. And I'm deliberately not really placing it beside the grey on the actual piece. So yeah, I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying that, and I already have plans for a second one because I want to name them like places that I like to go, if that makes sense, that I would maybe wear a shawl to keep all cozy. Chili's eating the blackcurrants. A barfly. Oh my gosh. Sorry. So I'm thinking that I might I haven't decided on a name for the one I'm working on just now, but I want to design one called the Barras, which is, for people that aren't in Scotland or Glasgow, the Barras is a place kind of heading towards the city centre of Glasgow, and gosh, I'll need to find the actual facts about it, but it's where people have like market stalls and stuff. It has been going for decades, and I think it's directly across from the Barras. They've got the Barrowlands like event venue as well, so I'm kind of going to be doing, I have a plan to do a show using the colours of the Barras sign, which I'll maybe put a photo in if I can find a decent one, but it's like a kind of gold with red and a dark green, so it is going to be kind of Christmassy colours, but I want to have a big star in it because of the Barrowlands venue has got stars on the sign. So all that excited word vomit to say I'm having a great time designing stuff. My plans for this week include writing up the Patreon pattern that I made last week so that it can be tested. I already done the illustrations for that, which was fine, and then that can get sent away, and then there's about 2 weeks-ish for that to get tested. Then I would like to, I'm kind of torn between working on the pigeon and working on this shawl, which is terrible. I'll try and get some time in on the pigeon, but ultimately I'm just following what's making me happy, because I think if you're working on something that isn't making you excited to work on it, you're very quickly gonna like burn yourself out a little bit. Do I need that on? I don't know. Yeah. You're very quickly gonna burn yourself out, I think. So all that to say is I'm going to work on whatever's making me happy. I think today I'll take it a little bit slower since I had to go back to bed and stuff like that. I'm feeling a bit kind of out of sorts with the fatigue side of things. But we'll see how the day goes. I'm going to get some work done on that sweater test the knitted sweater that I'm testing. Need to get some stitches in on that as well this week. And yeah, I think I'll kind of leave it at that. I'll double check what's on my to-do list. I need to send off the sticker designs for the book pre-order. That's finished now for the signed copies that I'm sending out. And with that, I had said that I would have a couple, like a little chunky bookmark and then a couple stickers that are on theme with the thing, with the book. So I need to send them off, and I think that's all that's on the agenda really. I don't think we're doing much this week outside of work. I don't think so. I'll need to double check. I know that at the end of July is my mother-in-law's birthday, and I'm going to be baking her a birthday cake and a birthday lasagna. We're all going to have dinner together, and I do have a present that I'm making for her, which I'm going to be very careful about showing and talking about on this. I don't think she watches my videos, but just in case, I'm going to be cautious whenever I mention it. So yes, for just now I'm going to have this coffee, work some more on the shawl design. Let me know if you've got any thoughts on what I should call it. I had thought originally about maybe calling it the Lomond shawl, because Loch Lomond's somewhere that I quite like nipping away to. I don't do it nearly often enough, but it doesn't take long to get there from here. I think it's maybe an hour or so. And I thought about that, and then I thought maybe the Châtellerault shawl, but I'll maybe put the spelling of it up and I feel like maybe that might be a bit much. I don't know, you can tell me. So I think that's all the updates. I hit my reading goal for the year, which was to read 20 books. I managed to hit that at the end of last week, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks, especially while I'm working, so that is why I get my numbers as high as they are. And I had kind of toyed with myself of, do I want to increase my goal number so that I like stay motivated to keep reading, because I've really been enjoying it, or do I just accept that any other books I read on top of this is a bonus? And the more I thought about it, I was like, no, do you know what? I know it's not serious and it doesn't need to be, but I've really enjoyed watching that number creep up. And I don't think there's anything wrong with reading a lot or reading too much. I don't think you can, unless you're, I don't know, like neglecting duties elsewhere or something. Or reading on the job and you've got a to-do list still into your arm or something, I don't know. But I decided to increase it to 50. But I think I can do it, because I think I read 7 books in May. I read 6 books in June. And this month so far, I think I'm sitting at 4 or 5. So I'm like, that'll be fine, right? Maybe? I don't know. But I'm enjoying it anyway, so if I don't hit it, I don't hit it. It's not a big deal. I'm really not that fussed. But yeah, I've been reading some more of the book of the month, and I feel like it's taking me longer to get through it. See, because I am just reading it in bed. I don't know about you, but see, whenever I'm in bed reading, it's like my brain just goes, it's time to get cosy, and I get a couple pages in and then I'll fall asleep. But I had noticed that there's been a couple times with this book, especially last night, I was reading for an hour, and because it was quite, what's going to happen here? Like, I don't know. My mother-in-law has finished the book, and she said it took quite a insane left turn, or a turn that came out of left field. I can't remember the phrasing that she used, but she said it was a bit wild. You kind of need to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but she said it was really entertaining and she really enjoyed the book anyway. And that's why I think books should be. See, unless it's supposed to be serious and it's totally wildly unserious, then fair enough, I'd be annoyed. But I don't know, see, when it's like a thriller, I feel like you can get away with quite a lot with a thriller when it comes to twists and stuff. I don't know, I enjoy it regardless. I see it as like if you're watching a TV show or something. It doesn't need to be an award-winning performance, as long as it's an exciting story. That's all, it's entertainment. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I've waffled. I'm gonna put my hay fever eye drops in and work on this to be named Schlanket. I'm not doing my hair today. I was going to go for a shower and wash my hair, but we're halfway through the day and I don't want to do it, so we're not. But yeah, I'll catch up. Bye. Good morning. It is Tuesday and I am just making a quick coffee because we're about to go out to the park with the boys, my two boys, the dog, and I'm meeting up with one of my friends and her boy and her dog. And hello Chilly. So we're going to go to the park. It's a little bit kind of overcast today, so it's not too hot, which is nice. So the dogs will be fine getting out and getting some energy burnt off. I'm going to try and take it easy in terms of how much I'm moving about and things. I'm struggling quite a bit this week with my hips and things like that, my knee specifically. I don't know why. So we're just going to be careful. My friend, bless her, she did say, do you need a break? Do you want me to take the boys? And then, you've got food in your bowl. She said, do you want me to take the boys and give you a wee break? And I was like, no, because I really want to see her. Like, I want the socialising too, do you know what I mean? So I said, no, I'm fine, but she's really understanding. She has physical health things that she deals with as well, and she totally gets it if I say I'm just going to take it easy and whatever, so I'm not worried about that. So yeah, going to just head over there and I'll maybe get a wee bit of footage of the dogs playing or something if I can, depending on how busy it is. I don't like the idea of accidentally like filming anyone's kids or anything in the background, so depending how busy it is, I'll let you see the dogs running around having fun. This morning I have been working on my Winter Lights shawl by Stephen West, and I'm on the last section where it's the wave pattern, and if I was using my contrast colours the way it would want me to, in that section it would be stripes of yellow, light turquoise and then the dark blue. But with this full thing I've pretty much just picked and choose where I want different colours to be. So I've got like this big sun at the bottom, which I think looks so lovely and squishy because of that garter stitch. I really enjoyed these sections with the, see with the bubbles and the little slip stitch dots. The honeycomb, that I think this was my first time properly doing the honeycomb section, which was nice. I've not really played with that technique before. I like how it kind of pokes through and it's like a little, I don't know, sensory wise, I really enjoy that. And then for the next dots and bubble section I used the orange and yellow again. So I've now just about finished the first of the wavy stripes, but you can't really tell because I'm doing it in white. So I've got this white stripe here and I'm going to alternate between the white, the light turquoise colours that I have, and then the dark that I've got here. And just to kind of really push that beachy feel that I want the piece to have, like I want that to kind of be reminiscent of waves and things like that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I can't believe how quickly it's knit up. I'm looking forward to getting back to my other Stephen West shawl, the Fanta Stitch, and I think that that'll be good fun when I get back to that as well. And it's softer fibres that I'm using for that one. This one's quite rustic, 100% wool. It's got that scratchy, toothy feel to it, but I like that, it doesn't bother me. Whereas the Fanta Stitch is a wool alpaca blend, so it's very, very soft. And it's got a nice drape to it as well, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll show you an update on my crochet shawl design that I'm working on. Okay, so this is where I've gotten to with my own design. I'll try and see if you can see this without it being a mess. Yeah. So So it's starting to kind of come up the way at the edges, which I quite like. It obviously needs a good block, but it's definitely getting there. I'm really enjoying the colours that, I can't hold this, really enjoying the colours that I've chosen, and just getting some subtle textures in there as well, I think is nice. I'm still learning in terms of increases, like how often am I doing them, where am I putting them, all that kind of thing, and I'm very much just winging it. But I'm really enjoying the process, and I think, see, as long as it wears nice at the end, if it's got a ripple through it, like the edges here, that's not going to bother me too much. So I'm not too concerned if it does do that. But yeah, we'll just wait and see. I am sporting my partner's big wrinkled sweater, because the idea of putting anything fancy or nice on, I don't know, I just wanted something big and comfy, so this was it. And yeah, gonna quickly drink this coffee. What time is it? Okay, we need to be going in about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna drink this coffee and then hit the road. We'll get out to the park for a wee hour. Well, we're back. We went to the loch that's like 10 minutes away, and I got the footage of like the little baby swans and all the geese and things like that, and it was really, really nice. It was quite busy, and we did feel like the dogs were getting a wee bit too hot, so we headed back. My friend's always so well prepared. She had the tote bag with the wipes for both the dogs and the kids, the bottles of water, the dog water, and like snacks and all that, and I'm just like turning up and hoping for the best. So I need to make sure that I repay that next time, and bring some snacks and things like that. So it was very good. Chili Bean met another beagle when we were there. We don't see a lot of beagles, so that was nice. She got to see another one of her kind. And yeah, it was just nice to see it. I only really see her when it's like term time. So because the kids are off for the summer, I've not seen her much. So we've kind of penciled in plans that this Friday we'll go back to the park, maybe when it's a little bit quieter, and that next week we'll go to, I think it's like a museum, like an outdoor museum thing, I don't know. So that's nice. And yeah, my plan now is to rest for a while. My arms, for some reason, are quite sore, so I'm going to sit down and put my feet up and start on the next colour of this shawl, because I've now finished that white section, the white wave section, and I want to just get some of the blues started in there. And see, because it's just like knitting back and forth, it's mindless, so it's nice. So this is the first one that I'm going to use. This is the one that bleeds onto my fingers, so I'm a bit nervous. But we're just going to go for it because it's what's making me happy. So we'll just do that, and yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. I will check back in. morning. It is Wednesday and I'm just making my first coffee of the day. Last night I tried to go to bed at a reasonable time and you can tell it's really helped. So today's plans, I think I want to work on the shawl a little bit more, to be honest. I made a start writing up the Patreon pattern for testing last night. So I think today is going to be a mixture of like shawl design plus putting the pattern together. I've put way too much syrup in that. Ooh. Oops. So I do two versions of most patterns. I'll have like a printer friendly version where it's just like a white PDF with text and the illustrations that I do. And then I've got one that's a little bit more arty-farty, and I do that on Procreate on my iPad, and I'll spend a couple hours putting that together and making it look all nice. So that's the one that I always do first for tests, because I want my testers to have the pretty version and they want the pretty version too, rather than just looking at a black and white document, you know. So managed to get a start on that last night. I'll probably finish that later on today. I'm really enjoying working on this shawl. I finished the audiobook I was listening to yesterday. It'll do. Finished the audiobook I was listening to yesterday, which was Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, and it was really good. I really liked it. I don't know how I would describe like what genre it was or anything, but either way I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it did leave me like I had a nightmare where I thought I had either a heart condition or heart cancer. It was horrific, and then I woke up like proper stressed, and then I was like, it was the book that I was reading, so I was relieved. But yeah, let me grab the stuff for this shawl. Maybe should have put you guys down first. I'll put these, oh god, yeah, I'm gonna sit these down. I had ripped out this section that I had done because I liked the wavy pattern that it was giving me, but when I thought about the fact that it was probably sitting about halfway through the shawl, I didn't want it there. So I ripped it out and started again for that part, and I think it's lying a lot flatter, obviously when it's blocked and stuff, but when I laid it out on the floor it was lying a lot flatter, so happy with that. But because I had ripped it all back, I had all this wool everywhere, so I just quickly like wound it round the ball, but it then made it very difficult to knit from because it was bouncing all over the place. So I stuck it on this, and it was so easy. It was so easy. So definitely enjoying using that when I can. And yeah, that's as far as we've got for this so far. Bless me. I think that I'm leaning more towards a Loch Lomond vibe for this one because of the colours that I've used. It makes me think of that a lot more than, or Glencoe when we went up there for a wedding. It makes me think of that, like with the thistle colours and then the rock and things like that, the big clouds in the sky and the heather and all that kind of stuff. It just makes me think of that more than it does Châtellerault. I would like to design one for Châtellerault, but I would like to incorporate some blues and things like that, because the river's a big part of that, like the connotations for me. When I think of Châtellerault Country Park, I'm thinking of woodlands, I'm thinking of the play park, I'm thinking of the big sandstone building that's there and the massive river that runs through. So yeah, I want to spend some time and think about that a little bit more. I've got the colours picked out already for the Barras shawl, and I have like a rough sketch of what I want that to look like, so that'll probably be the one that I would work on next. And I have colours picked out for a central station. Excuse me, a central station shawl. And I don't even know if these are going to be popular, if people are going to even want to test them, if they'll become a pattern that can be purchased or whatever. But I think a massive part is definitely me wanting to make them, you know, like the process of making them. And yeah, I'm really proud either way, so I'm gonna get going with that. I've got some admin-y stuff that popped up there from a Shopify store that I need to sort out, and I'll check in. Hi, I am checking in after I didn't even go for a nap. I just kind of lay down for about an hour. My body's really kind of beating me up for going out yesterday and being at the park for as long. Even though I did sit down while I was at the park, I was sitting on the grass with the dogs. Everything's quite sore, quite achy, so I lay down for a wee bit and read for a while. I'm reading The House Across the Lake at the minute. I'm sitting at just about like 65%-ish. I'd like to try and get that done in the next like day or two. I listened to the first Murderbot Diaries book. I can't remember what it's called. Is it All Systems Red? I listened to that, got that from the library. It was only about 3 hours and something, so I listened to that today. It was quite good. I've got the other ones on hold, so when they come through I'll listen to them as well. But got that, and I've done some knitting on my Winter Lights shawl, and I'm getting more and more worried because of how much the staining on my fingers is. Like, don't get me wrong, it's washing off easily, but I'm concerned that when I go to block this shawl, all that dye is just going to stain the white yarn that I've used. So there's not much I can do other than just put colour catchers in when it comes to it, just keep an eye on it, but what will be will be. So just now I'm going to pick up my prescription that's been, I got a text saying it was ready, so I'm going to go and pick that up. And I might pick up some bits for some easy dinners throughout the week. Just because I know that I'm sore and things, I want to make sure that we're still eating nice, tasty foods while I'm sore. And sometimes that means just grabbing something that you just stick in the oven. Sometimes it means buying a ready-made lasagna instead of making one yourself. And that's okay. But yeah, that's all that's going on just now. I'm going to go do this, and I might pick up a bottle of syrup for my coffees because I'm running out quite quickly with all that. So yeah, that's all that's going on. I will check in next time I've got an update. Good morning, it is Thursday, and today I'm going to really try and actually rest. So last night I ended up I ended up going out and cutting the grass and doing weeding and things like that, and I was only out for half an hour and everything was sore, and I was like, I already started the day yesterday in a lot of pain because we went to the park. Why am I doing this? So I'm going to try and be a little bit stricter with myself because I'm going to my friend's house tomorrow with the kids and the dog, and we're having like a little tapas themed like party thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've never really done these kind of things before, so I'm excited about it, and I want to be able to enjoy it without thinking everything hurts and I feel like I'm dying. So we're going to try and rest today. We're going to do some knitting and we're going to listen to audiobooks. I started the first Alex Cross book by James Patterson. Is it Along Came a Spider? Started that yesterday, got that from the library. My neighbour has recommended those books quite strongly, so I've got the first one of them on the go. And I have been, because I'm at a stage in my Winter Lights shawl where I think it's like 5 out of 6 rows are just knit back and forth, I've been able to do some reading on my Kobo. So I've been reading some of the House Across the Lake while I've been knitting. So yeah, I'm going to have a nice chill day of reading and listening to an audiobook. I'm going to watch some TV. I do have some food shopping coming later on, kind of early afternoon, and other than that I don't think I've got anything that really needs done. I do need to like get the washing put away and stuff like that, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't get put away, and I'm going to try and tell myself that. So yeah, let me show you what I got up to with the Winter Lights shawl last night. So as you can see, it's kind of starting to creep in to the corner here. This is where I'm at. So I've done the first colour of the stripe, which I made the main colour, so I made it the white. Then there was this turquoise that stained absolutely everything, and I'm actually a little bit concerned about if it's going to stain my clothes or if it'll be okay after I wash it. Just gonna need to wait and see. And now I've started on the dark blue, which you'll see more on this side. So the next round, or the next 3 row repeat that I'm going to do the white again, but instead of this bright turquoise, I'm going to bring up, see that darker turquoise in the middle? I'll see if I can. So instead of using that bright one, I'm going to use this darker one and then go back to the blues. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then it'll be done, and I'll need to pick up some colour catchers. I will share the process on how much dye comes off. I think that could be quite interesting to see. And that's nothing to do with the dyer or anything like that. I think that some colours are just more prone to like bleeding and things, I think, is it not? Like reds are quite guilty. I knew blues were going into it, but reds are quite guilty for it as well, are they not? So all that to say is I've got my coffee, I've got my knitting, and I'm going to go and make a start. So I was just freshening up the birds' water outside, giving them some like fresh grapes and things because it's quite hot, so I want to try and It's like what you do with your kids, in it. You give them like foods and stuff that have got water in it to keep them hydrated. But if you're going to give them grapes, you need to cut them up. But anyway, I was just finishing that, gave my hands a clean, and I was going to settle down and pull one of my cards for the day. And I thought I would maybe share them because I think they're really cute. Now, I can't quite remember the brand or the make because I have the box that they came in storage. I got them quite a while ago, and I just keep them in this little bag here. But they are they're so cute. They're so cute. So these are, oh, it says on the Cottage Magic Tarot. So it comes with this sweet little book. It does come with a nice box that you can keep them in. I prefer to keep my tarot cards in a cute little pouch, and I have some selenite in there. But I just thought I would share, like, they are, that's a better colour, but they've got like a linen feel to them. I don't know if it's gonna focus at all. Nope. Oh, you can kind of see it there. So they've got like a linen texture to them, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Really, really sweet. And yeah, I really, really like using them. The only thing is, for me, they are a little bit big, but I feel like I've kind of gelled quite well with them. So yeah, a bit of a random one to throw in there, but if you happen to be someone that likes to use tarot, then I recommend this if you're looking for something different. Look at how sweet. The only thing is, I would say have a familiarity with the suits, the pentacles, the coins, the whatever, because they are called different things in this. But yeah, some decks I find it quite difficult to fully understand what is kind of happening. However, that one, it feels quite intuitive, which is nice. And the book is quite handy too. I try to go off my own intuition and the feel for the card readings, and that's how I learned. It's how I practiced ever since I was wee. And then I would kind of compare the feelings that I got from the cards with what the guide would say and all that kind of jazz. All that to say, I was going to do them, and I thought I would share because it's cute, it's sweet, and it's part of my daily routine. Like I said, I've sorted the birds outside. We've got a magpie that comes that's got a deformed leg, and we've lovingly named him Stumpy. So I like to try, whenever he's a baby, he's still got a lot of fluff. So whenever he is about, I try and make sure that there's lots of things out there that's got plenty of vitamins and all that kind of stuff in it. Obviously, I make sure it's safe for birds first, but I try and make sure that I've not got too much bread or anything out there that's just full of sugar and all sorts of things. I'm just rambling now, so I think I'm going to do some more work on my shawl today. I'm waiting on the food shopping coming, and then that'll be it, I think. Morning. It is Friday. We've made it to the end of another week. And I'm feeling quite content with how much I've managed to get done. My biggest thing that I wanted to get done this week was to get the Patreon pattern for August in testing. And I've woken up to some messages from one of the testers already, like with some feedback and wee things that need tweaked and stuff. So I'm feeling really grateful that I've got that support, and also that I've got that extra time to make those little edits, make sure that the pattern's as nice as it can be and accurate as it can be, so that by the time I get to upload it for my Patreon members, it's good to go. So that was my biggest thing that I wanted to get done. The other thing that I wanted to get done was primarily either some work on, I wanted to get some work done on a pattern that was going to be for general release. And originally that was going to be Pip and the Pigeon. However, because of Sunday morning and how my hyperfixation works, it ended up being the new shawl design that I've started. But I feel really happy and really content with how much progress I managed to get done on that. And I shared a little sneak peek of it on Patreon and then a couple of days later on Instagram, and the feedback I've had has been really positive, so that's been really reassuring as well, that I've kind of got that grace to explore different elements of designing and things like that. And it's the crocheting amigurumi isn't going to go anywhere, because I was the kid that was obsessed with teddies, and I'll be honest, whilst I think I've got one teddy as an adult, and it's this flat stingray that I got from the Sea Life Centre, if I could, I would have a room full of them. And I think that's probably why I started crocheting, like designing them. So that's not going anywhere. But I do like the fact that I've now got, it's almost like I needed permission, and I know I don't, but it's like I've now got the confidence to go, do you know what, no, I'm in the mood to design this, or I'm in the mood to work on this. And that's really nice, especially because I think I'd said it in the first vlog, I'm not sure, but this is now my full-time job with the support of my partner. But it's scary because I think financially this is what I depend on, do you know what I mean? So sometimes it's quite scary taking that risk, or thinking like, what if I put a design out and people hate it? Or do you know what I mean? All these little things that you think about. So yeah, I've been enjoying working on that. Finished the big green section with all the lace and things like that. I'm a little bit nervous about this section, how it's a bit wobbly. I think maybe some increases were too close together, or maybe it's my tension, I can't really fully remember. But as long as it blocks out okay, I'm not too concerned. But yeah, this is where we're at. And I'm loving it, I really am loving it. So yesterday I finished up this little grey section here. I love this. And now I've brought that white in, and I'm going to do another section of these kind of puff stitches. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm liking how many different textures are there, and I'm looking forward to having, like, I want to have a big blanket, a big shawl blanket that'll work its way around. And I don't know, I feel really happy with it. So I'm going to get just a little bit of work done on that this morning with my coffee. And then today I think we're still going to my friend's house for that kind of garden party type afternoon. We're going to have some drinks. Her mum's coming over, and we're going to have some drinks while the boys and the dogs play in the garden. And it's just going to be a nice chilled out afternoon. And my partner can come and scoop us all up later on. So Yeah, it's quite silly. I got up this morning and opened the curtains in the boys' room, and I looked down at the driveway and I seen his car was still there, and I thought he was working from home, and I got so excited and came running downstairs, and then I realised, no, his mate picked him up for work. So they're obviously going to a site together today, but I was gutted. So yes, we've got a nice little garden party today. Oh, this morning at like 5 in the morning, I'm lying in bed and I can really, really faintly hear this little, and I'm like, what's that noise? And I'm like, something's at the window. Surely not, because we're like a floor up. And I look, it's one of the crows. When I said to you how I feed the crows and the magpies and all that stuff, it was one of the crows at 5 in the morning asking if it was time for breakfast. I think it was one of the crows. Do you know what way? I wish I'd got a proper look, but I was so tired. I just kind of looked, and it looked at me and then flew away. But I wish I'd been able to, I'm pretty sure it was a crow, because I don't remember seeing any white of the magpie. But that's insane, isn't it? Like, they've actually came and woke me up and asked for the breakfast. So they've got breakfast out now. And literally on cue, I just heard one of them cawing at their pals. So, oh, life's nice. Life is nice. But yes, I'm going to go and get some stitches done on this while I can. I'm not sure what time our friend is coming to get us, but I don't think I'll be getting much done in the way of crafting stuff. Oh, I finished the Book of the Month book. It took a turn that I really wasn't expecting. Hello, boy. Did you have your breakfast? Was it nice? The Book of the Month book took a turn I wasn't expecting at all, and it was, but I really enjoyed it. I found it very satisfying, the ending. At one point it was like things were ending and it was all wrapped up and it was quite nice, and I'm like, oh good. And then another twist happened and I went, really? But when it fleshed out a little bit more, I liked it. So yeah, overall I think I rated it 4 stars, but like I've said before, I'm quite stingy with my 5 stars, so for whatever reason. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to kind of explore some more books by, is it Riley Sager? I don't know, I'm not great with pronouncing names, but I'm hoping that's it. I'm looking forward to exploring some more books by them. I've got one of their books over in my bookcase, and it's called The Only One Left. That sounds really good. So I'm looking forward to reading that. But I decided at 2 in the morning to start my next book. And I'm finally going to make a start on the Dungeon Crawler Carol series. So I read the first chapter of that. And already I was a bit... That's not a reflection of how I felt about the book, but already I'm a bit excited. I think it's going to be good. I was a bit nervous because I thought, is it going to live up to the hype? Have people kind of overhyped it and whatnot? But the writing style is right up my street. I think it's funny. It's quick paced right off the bat, which I like. I feel like I'm going to enjoy the main character. I feel like I'm going to enjoy the silly little elements that are kind of sparkled in between everything. So yeah, let me know if you've read it, what you think. But I've made a start on that, and that's going to be the next book that I have on my list. I think I've read 7 books this month, and it's only halfway through the month, which means that this is going to be my biggest reading month of the year so far, probably of my life. Because I feel like I've only just started really getting into reading this last year. Normally I would only read maybe like 10 books a year. I'd say only. That's still incredible, but compared to where I'm at now, But again, I have all this extra time. I'm very, very great, like lucky to have that. And I listen to audiobooks whilst I'm working on designs as well. So that, of course, gets me another, at least one book a week by doing audiobooks. So I am very, very lucky and very fortunate to be able to do that. Just wild to think that I am at a point where, even though I'm struggling with chronic illness, and you guys see how often I complain about being sore and the yawning constantly and having to go back to bed and all this stuff, which can really, really bring you down, I still feel like I'm able to earn at least a part-time living. Maybe a wee bit less than a part-time living, but I'm still able to earn something doing what I love because of you guys. And that's massive. So I'm gonna shut up, I'm gonna go drink my coffee, and I'm gonna watch a bit of TV and do some cross-stitching? No, crocheting. Goodbye! Thank you so much for spending the week with me. I know that we might not always get a whole bunch of stuff done, but even if you just have me on in the background while you're working away on something, I think that's amazing. And if you are working away on something, please let me know. I'd love to know what you're working on or what you're reading at the minute, anything at all. Yeah. And if you did like it, this silly little video, maybe a little like and subscribe, and you can see what I got up to next week. And yeah, I'm gonna go. Love you, bye!